The Surfing Violinist presents Why Bollywood? 15 magical Bollywood moments that put Masala in this Ferungi's veins. Masala Vlog 29. So this video may be annoying or at least old news to my regular Indian viewers, but this is more meant for people who are interested in Bollywood and want to learn more and get a context for Bollywood's existence. Or maybe you're cynical about Bollywood and want to get an understanding of what normies feel like about it. Normies within India or normies who actually like Bollywood from around the world. And me as a foreigner, I made fun of Bollywood at first, but it was really music that kind of captured my attention. And it was also these song and dance numbers that worked. Like the entire goal of these song and dance numbers was to take viewers within India to another place, whether it be like the Swiss Alps or some deserted island. And some of these had that effect for me, whatever their setting. And usually it came down to a melody. And a lot of these songs have like a kind of a Madeline moment associated with it. You know, like when you have a food item or a smell or even a moment from a music or movie that just takes you back to a certain memory from or a certain time in your life. A lot of these have done that for me. This specific the next five here, I'm focusing on the three Khans of Bollywood that dominated the box office from the mid-90s to the mid-2010s. Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, and Aamir Khan. Now, we've already met Aamir Khan with his movie Gajani, but before Aamir was the first to break the coveted box office record with Gajani, these three were already kind of in battle to see who could be at the top. They call Shah Rukh Khan King Khan because he is the most bankable Bollywood actor in history. He's one of the most bankable actors in history. And I'm sure if you look at the numbers, like if you look at year by year, in general, Aamir and Salman have done better when it comes to just one big tent movie for the year. But if you look at the way that Shah Rukh has kind of dominated the financial part of the industry, as his own production company. At one point, he had his own cricket team. I'm not really sure. I haven't kept up with that since then. But he's just one of the richest actors in history. Like he's worth more than like Tom Cruise. So pretty impressive feat. And his kind of bread and butter in the 90s was these rom-coms or these romantic films that were very... it was a new type of Bollywood. It was transition. Instead of an angry young man, it was this romantic rogue idealist looking at his dance, his signature dance move kind of said it all, just looking out into the future. So it wasn't that genre or that era of Shah Rukh Khan that really captured me. It was a little bit later on, and sometimes for movies that aren't necessarily meeting that criteria of being greater than the sum of its parts. We went back and watched Om Shanti Om again, and Om Shanti Om is a lot like a Broadway musical or a Disney cartoon musical. It's very operatic. In fact, the Om Shanti Om song reminds me of a lot of Phantom of the Opera. This one, though, like if you're in the mood for that kind of thing, I thought it was really fun going back and watching it. There's some self-indulgent, like referential to a lot of Bollywood history in there. But if you're interested in Bollywood and you're diving in for the first time, it's a great crash course to understand some of the connections. There's this whole scene where all these famous Bollywood stars come through and do a little dance number together. The song and moment that really stick with me from Om Shanti Om is Aankhon Teri, from the red carpet scene where Deepika Padukone has a meet cute with Shah Rukh Khan's character. You know, she's his dream girl, and he gets to meet her on this red carpet because his bracelet gets stuck in her sari, and so they have to have this moment where it's this kind of awkward moment where she has to untie it, and it's fun and sweet, and it's like a wholesome way to have this meet cute. The melody, the harmony, the way that Deepika inhabits this dream girl role with a playful wink and a heartfelt smile are the stuff that red carpet dreams are made of. It doesn't even just seem to apply to Bollywood here. It seems to apply to big screen dreams in general, showbiz, whether it's in New York or LA. As cynical as I can be with filmmaking, I think it's a great movie moment, a very wholesome movie moment, and the melody is great. I really do want to cover this one on violin especially. Let's keep riding the SRK, King Khan, Shah Rukh Khan train on the Chennai Express. Now, my history with Rohit Shetty movies, I had this like whole Bollywood version of honest trailers, and Rohit Shetty took a lot of punches from that little parody trailer thing that I would make. Not a big fan of his movies, not a big fan of this one, but This particular song called Titli, which means butterfly, it really lilts along like a butterfly. Once again, it is Shah Rukh Khan with Deepika Padukone. And it starts off at the end of her having this real kind of melancholy, bittersweet moment in the temple with the temple bell ringing. And then it comes in with the backup singers are singing this little bit about Krishna, and it sounds very traditional. And then on top of that, the playback singer has this very lilting melody that sounds a lot like a butterfly flying. And Rohit Shetty brings his A game here. This is high dynamic range, oversaturation, showing the beauty of South India. A lot of times, like in classic Bollywood, these song and dance numbers were an excuse to go outside of India, show Indians what the rest of the world looked like. If you couldn't make it to the Alps, well, you could see it in this song and dance number. But here you get to see South India on display, and he does a great job of just making Indians feel proud of the local landscape. This is a phenomenal little song and dance number. It's a phenomenal music video. Again, a wonderful melody that I think will fit well on violin. It really is an exquisite use of all the tools of cinema to make this great little music video. All right, one more SRK moment before we move on, and this is from the film Chak. Now, Chak, I think it might be the easiest film to show somebody from outside of India, especially a younger audience, show somebody from outside of India what a Bollywood film can be. It really is just a underdog sports story and about team dynamics. It really follows kind of the Hollywood formula of the Bad News Bears or the Mighty Ducks or something like that, but has a real serious edge to it. And there's good like team building drama that goes on in this film. This film is a very economical version of Masala, cramming so much into this shorter package. You got girl power, you got national pride, you got team building, you've got the redemption arc for Shah Rukh Khan's character. There's a lot going on here, and it doesn't feel like a very long movie. A lot of Bollywood movies can kind of go past their runtime a little bit. This one feels like a cohesive sports film. So when you're feeling the rush to badmouth Yash Raj, this is a good one to remember. This is a well-executed mainstream film. This is not just a good Bollywood movie, it's a good sports movie, and the rousing tune Chak ties it all together. And speaking of sports, you really can't talk about sports in India without, of course, Lagaan. This is Aamir Khan, Mr. Perfect, and his big budget passion project in which everyone brings their A game to the table. It is long. If people aren't as interested in foreign films, it's going to be a little harder to sell just because of the length. But this is a classic, timeless tale, good period drama, good sports movie, good musical. As far as the songs go, the entire soundtrack is iconic, and I want to cover all of them on violin. But the ones that really stick out in my mind the most are the Radha Krishna song, which has this great flute part. I'd love to be able to cover that, get my chops right. And then, of course, Jale, that's the one I reference the most. Say it every time you need to go somewhere when you're in India and you're a foreigner trying to learn Hindi. You say Jale, it just automatically happens. It has its own cheesy moments as well. It's like the British ladies singing in English part. And there's some convenient movie magic in terms of how the game actually goes. But most Hollywood movies suffer from that same thing. It's just part of a happy sports movie ending. I like it. I think it stands the test of time. I think it is greater than the sum of its parts. I think there's so many good songs. It feels like something greater than Masala. This is a cohesive epic, and the music lives up to the hype. Well, we can't just mention Shah Rukh Khan and Aamir Khan without mentioning the third in the triumvirate, Salman Khan. At a certain point in his career, Salman realized he could kind of corner the market on action films, and so that's the direction he went. There are many movies in this ilk that, I mean, every year he's coming out with a new one. But Dabangg was the one that we saw that flipped the switch where we got it. Like, a lot of them, you just see them, you just kind of roll your eyes, especially as an outsider, not really in on the joke. It's kind of like watching WWE. If you're not really willing to meet the content where it's at, then you're just going to like pass it aside. Dabangg was the one that we were able to watch and get it. And part of it was the villain. Sonu Sood did a really great job, especially like the backstory of why Salman Khan kind of makes a turn and become a better guy. It's a really vicious scene, actually. Very visceral. The action is very heightened. You know, it's somewhere in between John Woo and Looney Tune physics and a movie by The Rock or something like that. But I really do think that the Masala element works here. Like, having these song and dance numbers in the middle of this, it it adds a levity to it. This is one of the Salman films that if you can make the mental switch and think, I'm going for a WWE buffet here of masala, action, romance, and music, you're really going to have a good time with this movie. As far as the soundtrack, this movie was packed with songs that became hits. From the Dabangg lead track, which I'm just laughing because Salman Khan has a signature dance move in every film. And so I'm not sure when it all started. It might have started before this in his movie Wanted, which I've never seen. But in this one, his signature dance move is just moving his belt buckle. Later films, it would be like his moving his glasses. Sometimes it's like his glasses just fly off. It becomes this very wink at the camera, like, I'm so good, I don't even have to dance. That's how cool I am. Proto-Chad sort of environment. He's so cool he doesn't have to try hard. This film also featured one of the most famous item numbers in Bollywood, modern Bollywood history, the Muni Badnam Hui. You will hear it all the time. And these item songs, if you're not familiar, they're basically an excuse to have a hot chick dance and sell this song. Which usually becomes the most played song or most bought song from a film. It's a long-standing Bollywood tradition. Right-wing conservatives who want to keep women undercover and left-wing women's rights advocates may see eye to eye on the evils of the item number. I doubt very seriously that is going to change, especially in action movies, anytime soon. These things are just too lucrative. And this one's a really catchy tune. The song that really got our attention was the Tere Mast Done featuring Rahat Fateh Ali Khan singing it. It's just a beautiful Sufi-inspired kind of Qawwali take on this love song. And it can be a real gateway to that whole music art form. Melissa loves that stuff. It wasn't the first exposure we had to it, but it kind of broadened our understanding of this rich art form. So those are 5 more song and movie moments that helped put masala in this Ferungi's veins. Next time we'll pick up again with another Salman Khan tune from one of his films, and that is definitely a case of the moment being greater than the sum of the parts or the whole. We'll get into it next time. Maybe you are cynical about Bollywood, or maybe you're new to Bollywood. Either way, my question for you is, are there some song or movie moments that you have a good Madeline moment with, or that you remember positively in spite of maybe a negative experience of the film as a whole? So let me know in the comments. There'll be 5 more next episode.
To see these videos early without ads, join the lineup here on YouTube. You just need a YouTube account, and for $1.99 a month, you click this little join button and sign up to get early and ad-free access to 4 monthly vlogs: the surf vlog, the violin vlog, the masala vlog, and the family vlog. Thank you very much.